We started Demonware as a very, very small group of people. It was myself and some computer engineers from Trinity College. We set up the company to provide a piece of what's called middleware technology that the games companies, the game studios can use when building their games. So rather than spending time trying to reinvent the wheel and build new technology each time, they could take our off-the-shelf product, slot it into their game, and they could focus on putting better graphics, bigger explosions, things like that. So we established Jolt to become an online games publisher focused mostly on the North American and general English-speaking markets. We were looking at a lot of what was going on in Germany and Central Europe at the time, where this free-to-play model of games that you can play in your internet browser really had exploded. But it was still quite early on in North America. So we established that company in 2008 to target that market. So our games are and were free to play in any internet browser. So you don't have to download anything. It's a very, very quick form of entertainment, which again has only recently evolved, but is absolutely exploding in terms of growth. The growth of Facebook has led to the growth of social gaming. It allows people to play together in a much closer and meaningful sense than was possible before. And I think the big thing that's changed is that whereas before online gaming was very much the domain of the console, the Xbox, the PlayStation, and you really had to be quite a hardcore gamer to be into it. Social gaming, gaming on an internet browser, gaming through Facebook or the other social networks has totally opened that market to the much more casual gamer. I think when you're growing a company, one of the things that's absolutely guaranteed is that no matter how much research you've put into a business plan, no matter how much data you have in your business model, as soon as you start interacting with your potential customers, you're absolutely going to tear that up and throw it away and probably start again. And I think you've got to be comfortable with that as, you know, someone who starts companies. I think you've got to be able to understand where you're aiming for. You've got to be very flexible, I think, in terms of how you get there, simply because you're not going to know. Ireland has become the hub for so many digital media companies who are targeting Europe and other parts of the world. We're one of the biggest online gaming hubs in the world with some of the biggest internet companies here. I think they're here for two or three reasons. Firstly, a very easy place to do business. Second, in terms of targeting and supporting Europe with all its many, many languages and many cultures, Ireland is the ideal base for that. We've a very well educated population, and what's great is that the more companies that we have establishing themselves here, being founded here, the more comfort that gives other companies. The nature of the digital media space is that one industry frequently becomes very relevant to another. So you see the likes of Havoc, who started out in video games, who are now branching into special effects for movies. You've seen the great success that Brown Bag have had in the animation space. All of these companies benefit from being able to work together, from being able to network and see if they can leverage their own contacts to move into that space. But again, it's one of those things where the nature of these industries are such that they become more and more relevant to each other. So Ireland may be one of the biggest online gaming hubs in the world, and it is, but we're rapidly establishing a huge presence in animation, in movies, in music, and in all these other sectors, and they're all related. So everything that's done for one is frequently very, very relevant, if not directly relevant, to the other. It's a great place to be. I think the Irish are a walking social network. We are a walking, living, breathing social network in terms of how we do business.